What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Was not planning on recording a video for Saturday, but here we sit. Typically, I take today off, but late Friday night, I'm recording this very late Friday night. Steve Hart, the owner of the Baseball Card Exchange, who authenticated the recently called into question 1986 Fleer box that was open on the main stage of the National, that all the cards, I shouldn't say all, I don't know if all were, but a lot of the cards seemed to be strangely packaged in alphabetical order. So since we got an official response, I figured I did the video on Friday about this. I figure I should at least do one on the official response. I am extremely curious for your guys and girls' take on basically, do you believe him or not? Let's go ahead and pull this up. I saw this first on Sports Card News, tweeted this out. We'll just go ahead and read through this really quickly, I guess. So this is from Steve Hart. Every advanced collector will tell you that when companies made certain correlation patterns, for example, 1975 through 1981 Topps Basketball Rack and Cello, that there are anomalies that occur. Even if the correlation is correct 99.5% of the time, there is and can be an anomaly. Remember, the idea was to print, package, and ship this stuff out ASAP. In my opinion, this box has not been tampered with nor been resealed. I always knew this would happen someday. I figured that someday someone would open a box that was just crazy off. People would view it as counterfeit / resealed / tampered with. However, as we have just seen, these things can and will happen, and it will happen again. End quote. So that is BBCE's official response. I leave it up to, we have seen the evidence supplied by Sports Card Radio, Our Own Two Eyes, everything that's come out the last 3 or 4 days, that presented one side of the argument. This is BBCE's side of the argument and their take on it, as basically stuff happens. Sports Card News sums it up. Box was a once-in-a-lifetime correlation error, essentially. Here's the problem. They had to screw up with the Pokemon sealed case. And now they have this. So I just don't know how many people are going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then the fact that the thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way is the last line of the statement, and it will happen again, is that they're basically just saying, hey, this stuff collates weird sometimes. Oh, well, and it's going to happen again. Oh, well. So it's essentially leaving them an out for the next box of 86 Fleer that someone opens that's BBCE wrapped and something weird happens with it. They could just always point to this. It just seems extremely convenient, in my opinion. And I am no sealed wax expert at all. I am way out of my depth here. The only sealed wax that I'm an expert of is Marvel cards repackaged as D&D, or D&D cards repackaged as Marvel cards. And a sealed Magic case of Double Masters. But this is their response. We could choose to believe it, not believe it, side-eye it, whatever you want. This is what they're saying. I'm very interested to see how the comment section feels about this one. I feel like I know how most people are going to take this. But this is what they're saying. We'll see if anyone else, I don't know that Whatnot's made an official response. I don't know if they will. And I don't know if they're necessarily to blame. They're in a weird, they bought the box off Golden. Did Golden sell it knowing that something was off on it? Was the letter that BBCE supplied to the former owner of this box, given to Golden to know, what the situation was with this. I don't know that happened either. There's still a lot of unknowns that we don't know on, who's necessarily to blame here, if anyone per se. It's still a little murky. And let me take this opportunity to address this too. In the comments yesterday of the video, a lot of people, and I've seen this on a lot of videos, a lot of people were calling out Pac-Man and Card Collector 2, and to a lesser extent SCI, about why didn't they say something, why this was going on. I don't know what anyone that was ripping this product on stage, what their experience is with 86 Fleer. I know personally, I knew that there was people could predict what was coming in the packs. I didn't know how that worked. And I'm sure a lot of people are like that too. But here's the thing. If you're sitting up there, you're live streaming, I don't know, God knows how many people, and then there's how many people sitting in front of you, and you're sitting on a main stage. Even if in the back of your mind, you're pretty sure something is off, you're not going to stop everything that's going on and be like, this is wrong, guys. This is wrong. Let me give you a real world example of this. I just want you all to think about this, because I know everyone loves to run to attack everything and everyone and wants to play the blame game. And I get it. But in this case, even if they were 99, you would have to be so sure that something was off. And even then, you still don't know the circumstances of it. You don't know, what was it? Whatnot? Did Whatnot know? Where did they get the box from? Did that person know? You don't know any of the details. So just standing up and calling it out right then and there, I don't know necessarily what that gains. But let me give you a real world situation. And, maybe this is just me talking. And this is just my personal experience with this. But I have a feeling I'm not the only one that has been in a similar situation like this. How many times have you been in a public place? A mall, a baseball game, whatever. You're walking down the street and you see someone that you know. And maybe this is a person, it's not like, hey, it's been 15 years since you saw him in high school or some nonsense. Maybe it's someone that you talk to a couple times a year. You've run into them for work, whatever the case might be. But you definitely know that person over there. Or at least you think you do. You're 99% sure you do. But you don't walk up and say hello, because in the back of your mind, there's this little 1% nagging thing at you going, are you 100% sure that's Susan? Are you? It looks like Susan. It sounds like Susan. It walks like Susan. But are you 100% sure? And then in the back of your mind, you're like, I better not say anything. I'll wait to see if she sees me or he sees me first. I feel like we have all been in that situation. If I'm the only one that goes through that mental exercise sometimes, when I see someone that I'm pretty sure that I know, and 99.9% of the time I actually do know the person, and you just kind of play it cool, and you semi-walk by them, and if they make eye contact, you throw the nod at each other and hope that they come up and say like, oh, hey, how's it going? So assuming that you have all had that happen to you, like I have, or some other situation like it, now imagine you're semi-competent about 86 Fleer. You know that there's, correlations with the packs and that you could semi-predict cards here and there. And now all of a sudden you're at the National, you're on the main stage, you're live streaming to thousands of people. There's a few hundred people sitting in front of you. There's 5 different probably actually more than 5 cameras on you, depending on who's up there breaking. You have 3 or 4 people sitting around you. None of them are freaking out about this. And you're going to shut down the whole production to stand up and be like, Houston, we have a problem. I get that that's what everyone wants to happen, but we have to be realistic here, people. That just is not going to happen in most cases. You would have to be so sure sure that something is off on that box, to call it out right then and there. And two, it's just not the professional or courteous thing to do, in my opinion. You don't know the even if you dead stone cold know this box is wrong, you're probably still not going to call it out while you're sitting there. You're going to finish what you're doing. You're going to walk off stage, and whoever it is that was running the show, you're going to pull them aside and say, hey, I'm pretty sure something's off with that box. Explain the situation, and then let them do whatever they're going to do. Maybe you agree with me on that. Maybe you disagree with me on that. I don't know, but that's my take on it. I've seen that comment going around, or comments going around a lot. Why didn't X person, why didn't Y person, why didn't Z person stand up and be like, this is wrong? Remember that next time you see that friend of a friend that you've met and hung out with 3 or 4 times in a year, or maybe it's been a year since you've seen the person and you cross paths with them out in the wild. I get that everyone wants vengeance and blood and a sacrifice right then and there in the moment, but it's honestly not the proper thing to do right then and there, in my opinion. And like I said, you would have to be so stone cold confident in it. You would have to be the biggest expert on 86, 87 Fleer to call that out on that main stage live. And I don't know that any of those people were. I don't know how many people are. There's a lot of people that know probably how 86 Fleer works, but you would have to be just so locked in to call that out live. And then even then, is that the proper thing to do? Or is there a better way to handle it? Because once again, you don't know the history of the box. You don't know how they got it. You don't know where they got it from. You don't know who's responsible for it. In the moment, these are all the things running through your head while you're sitting there on a main stage trying to open packs, be extremely careful of a super high-end valuable product, and air quotes perform, because you're live streaming, not damage cards, the whole 9 yards. Just think about all the nonsense that's going on right there. And now you want someone that is casually familiar with the product, possibly, to stand up and be like, this is wrong. Curious for your thoughts on that as well. Agree with me, disagree with me. That's my take on that, because I got tons of questions on that in the comments yesterday. So, do we believe Steve Hart and BBCE? Or is your confidence now restored in the company? And don't worry, this may or may not happen again. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. This is 2, let's call it at least the big questions that they've had on them this year. One in the most high-profile fashion ever with the Logan Paul incident. And now this. And I'm sure we'll see what else comes out of this. Like I said, I'm recording this late Friday night, very late Friday night. So the way that this story's kind of evolved, things keep popping up out of nowhere from all different places. So we'll see what happens. That's all I have for you guys and girls today. I am off to, actually, while you're watching this, I am probably roaming around the Hartville, Ohio show, trying to make some deals. Catch you guys and girls tomorrow for the weekly update. Peace.